Don't worry, it's just live.
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm Arthur Perkins, and the things that have been recorded of me saying are innumerable and terrible. You should check out my clip section sometime if you'd like to see the worst of it. Speaking of the worst of us, let's talk about me. Nothing? Oh, well, look, that was a slow burn. That was a slow burn, but eventually I got some laughs on it.
That's because I expected it to be directed at me.
I'm not gonna lie.
Let's see here. Oh no, I don't need more Kazador the Whites. Okay, we only need one Kazador the White. I'm just catching up on all of the things that I haven't put in yet. All of the Lilwyn art that didn't get added.
Oof.
Spider climb. Look, instead of doing that, I should do this thing where I announce if you all can complete my introduction challenge as a wizard, I shall grant you and your character's inspiration. Thus, my challenge is a puzzle, one that should not be too difficult.
You know that adventurers are really good at puzzles.
Well, but the question is, are you all as good as your characters at puzzles? And second off, I happen to know that adventurers are fucking awful at puzzles and routinely fail them.
Yeah.
I think my real life perception's about a 4.
So, here is my offer, friends. Each of you will introduce another member of the group, and then after introducing them by name and social media and whatever you think they did this week, you will then talk about what you did this week, and the last person will introduce the first person in that list. I am not included because not only am I not an artist, but I've already done my introduction. And I want to point out that the first person to go gets to pick from anyone they want.
Right. So I'd like to introduce PlanetKhaos. He's PlanetKhaos at twitch.com, twitch.tv, and he's at PlanetKhaos_art at Instagram. And yeah, he's going to be your artist tonight, doing some sketches. He makes D&D commissions, and on Twitch, as well as other places, I suppose. And he's currently working on a game. And me, I've been working on some pages for White Ash, which is a comic on Kickstarter right now. I'm doing the backup story as well as cleaning up some of the old pages on Chapter 1. How about you, PlanetKhaos? What's going on with you?
Let's see here. So I'm going to introduce Bearded Jalapno. So he just got finished doing some art cards for a freelance project, and he twitches online, so you can find him here. Also on Instagram, so he's all over on the internet as Bearded Jalapno. And that is, I'm even going to spell it to you. So it's Bearded, Jalapno. And hopefully that's enough. Aside from me, yeah, I will be drawing tonight. Just to let you know, I did change my Instagram, so there's no more underscore. So I'm PlanetKhaos art on both.
Yeah.
Totally played me.
Got it.
After 10 weeks.
I know.
Got it.
After me getting it wrong 10 times, I said, hey, maybe I can change it. So yes, I can. All right, over to you, Mick. Or actually, I should be going over to Bearded.
What's up, guys? I'm Mccomicker, the best and arguably not the worst in the party. You can
and
find
the most
me,
humble. And the most humble.
Most humble. You know, I do just some drawings on Twitch. Currently working on a Kickstarter project as well as comic pages, and they're awesome. You should definitely check those out. And my sword is definitely not cursed. Over to you, Mick.
I am conorhughes, which is just conorhughes everywhere, mostly on Twitch. But I've also got a Kickstarter going right now. Currently working on its 4th stretch goal. Fourth stretch goal.
Humble brag.
Only about $650 away. So if you're looking for rural Pennsylvania, romance, horror, fantasy, then check out White Ash Volume 1, the first 4-issue story arc in one single hardcover edition full of pinups, a slip cover. It's about to be extra sized. It's beautiful. You'll never regret it.
People hold hands. It's great.
People hold hands. Yeah, so it's definitely not for children. There's
Don't buy it for you.
no.
People have, but yes, now we've segued into a little bit more hand holding. I guess I totally misinterpreted that.
Well, I mean, you got PlanetKhaos's name wrong, so shame on you.
No one knew.
But anyway, would the real Connor Hughes now stand up?
I think he already did his intro, though.
He did.
Yeah.
I thought we had to wrap it all the way around, though.
Well, you did. Congratulations. All of your characters get inspiration.
Great. So the one thing I am good at has now been taken away from me.
No, it's the not bardic inspiration.
It's DM inspiration.
It's DM inspiration. So it's the thing where before a roll you can say that you'd like to get advantage.
Is it different
I would
than-
never take away your bardic inspiration. I cannot wait to see you lose another rap battle.
Yeah, Bardic inspiration is for any attack rolls or damage rolls.
That skill check stuff, right? Yeah.
Skill checks, yeah.
I have to do something. I'll be right back. But you guys get started. Sorry.
Well, I will now go into the part of the show where I explain what's going on with PlanetKhaos this episode. So, theoretically, if the party stays on what one would call on rails, which is never a given in D&D or adventuring parties, if they do and they go to the content that I've prepped tonight, it will be important for you to watch PlanetKhaos's version. His map skill, his ability to show you what's happening will be, I wouldn't say critical to understanding the episode, but it will greatly increase your enjoyment, I believe.
And immersion.
Immersion, perhaps. Okay.
This is like adding bonus DVD content, or
Yeah,
or
kind of.
Director's
like
cut.
something like that, where you have to get the extra bit to like complete the story.
It's the director's cut.
Yeah, director's cut.
Of course, I don't drop character until we're done with the director's cut. DVD commentary. What is going
I'd like to
on
see
with
a
this?
blooper reel.
The image reel tonight is just freaking out.
Oh yeah.
It's like flipping sizes constantly, and I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it later. I'm gonna shut it off for now. Very sad because I super like it.
It happens.
Yeah, it does happen. Oh, well, I don't want to get started without. Oh, he's coming back.
There
Okay,
he is. He has returned.
he has returned just in time.
Oh, he doesn't know you've muted him.
He doesn't know, but I'm about to tell him. I muted you, by the way, Robert. Just because there was like
He's
some
still
big
doesn't
background
get
noise.
There
You
it is.
good? You back?
Yep.
All right,
I'm
you're
back.
unmuted. Excellent. Connor Hughes, thanks for the host. I saw that, the giant thing there. I actually really do like this new alert system. Speaking of things I like, let's talk about whatever. Anybody got anything interesting to talk about? I mean, look, the most interesting thing I have to talk about is this Walgreens heat/cooling pad for my knee. Holy cow. Look, here's the thing.
Spicy.
I've got this thing made of like corn that when you put it in the microwave for like 2.5 minutes,
We have one of those things too.
it warms up. All right, so look, here's the
It's made of
problem. I
corn?
got 2 of these things. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put one in the freezer, and then I'm gonna heat the other one up. And I read the back of it. It says only 30 seconds. I was like, ha 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 ha. I am a electrical engineer. I'm a man of science. I read instructions. There's no way I could fuck this up. And so I threw it in the microwave, and I was like 2 minutes 30 seconds. Because that's what I normally do. And then about 2 minutes and 30 seconds later, there's a small fire in my microwave and the smell of fish and a pile of steam. And I was like, oh, well, that was like $12. So goodbye. But the cold pack one is still very cold and my knee feels a lot better. So that is the most interesting thing that's happened to me in the last week. Isn't that incredibly sad? See,
Look, knee pain's no joke. How'd you get that?
Oh my. Okay, so look, we go all the way back to Marvel's Infinity War. As I was leaving the theater, I twisted my knee. He took half of my ability to walk. I twisted my knee leaving the theater, and then it got really bad, and I had to go to rehab for it just to get the knee stretched back out, and then the soleus muscle was all cramped up. And so lately it's been getting stronger. All the supporting muscles have been rebuilding. That's been great. But then I was like, let's clean out the basement. So I cleared out about 130 square feet of the basement. And every day I was like, I'll just lift this incredibly heavy object and run it out of the basement and outside. And okay, how about a mattress, 2 big screen TVs? And at some point, my name was just like, yo, what's up, bitch? Ain't paid attention to me lately. How about I fall over and die? And then I fell over and I nearly died. It was really bad. So for like the last 3 weeks, it's been getting progressively worse. Thanks for asking, though. I always love talking about how awful my knee is.
Can it tell the weather, though?
Oh, look. It can tell the weather insofar as when the weather is bad, I am like my cat, vicious and attacking anything near me.
I guess that's a superpower.
I don't think that's a superpower. That's just being a cat.
Which is like a superpower.
No.
Look, if you could convince anyone on this planet to like just feed you, house you, keep you happy and petted, like
He's really good in the dark.
I don't know that seeing really good in the dark is a superpower.
But definitely being able to
I'm pretty sure it's just ownership of Call of Duty night goggles.
What if you didn't need the goggles?
Oh, okay. All right.
Psh, I'd take night.
What if you could jump on all the cabinets?
What if you could jump from really high and your knee didn't bother you when you landed on the ground?
I mean, you can do that if you get those. Have you seen those extended leg things? They're just like a curve thing that comes down.
Just take the cat superpowers, man.
I mean, look, if there was a superpower that I would get, being like a cat would not be the top choice that I have.
You know, Connor and I were talking on stream yesterday, I think, where I have stabbed a dog in the show, but I've not yet stabbed a cat. And with all this talk of cats, if there's not a cat for me to stab tonight, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I don't think we were talking about that at all.
They're called tabaxi in this game, and they will murder you.
No, I don't want to stab a tabaxi. Like, they probably have something going on. I'm just like ordinary.
He just wants a regular cat.
Average house cat, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, tabaxis are all full of, sin.
Like, I don't want to fight something that's going to.
Dude, I'm sorry. Did you just immediately go super racist on tabaxi? They're all full of sin. My God, Connor.
In the same sense that all sentient animals are full of sin, and like,
okay,
you don't want to kill a dog because they're innocent.
You're so racist.
Kaz, stop while you're behind.
The people are guilty of something.
All right, Connor. I just to take away from this horrible thing you said, I have good news for you. I don't own a lot of physical comics. It's very few. I own all of the Mouse Guard series. I own all of the supplement books to Order of the Stick. And I guess now I'm going to get White Ash Volume 1 at some point.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the extent of my physical comic ownership.
Would you like to own a copy of Rovers Volume 1 Happenstance?
What is Rovers Volume 1 Happenstance? I think that's what I heard you say.
It's the name of his new rap.
I like to describe it as Firefly in the time of the Fellowship. High fantasy world set in the low places where our lovable cast of characters is merely trying to survive from day to day. They're not trying to fulfill grand prophecies or their destinies. I forget how I say it. Sometimes I mess it up.
We'll talk later.
That's pretty good.
Look, I don't say no to buying art from people I know. The
Definitely
problem is getting them to accept money from time to time.
If I ever do a Kickstarter, I'm going to have Mick do the intro for me.
Because it's so seamless and it just rolls.
It really is. He really does.
Yeah. Anybody got anything else to discuss?
Selling a product, and I'm selling me, and that is the best thing I know how to sell. Who wouldn't want this?
I'm gearing up to go to RTX this year.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's that Rooster Teeth Expo?
Yep.
I gotta tell you, man, I used to like Rooster Teeth a lot, but lately they've been super disappointing.
Yeah,
That's
they want me to be on one of their panels, so
Oh well, you should definitely do that.
Then I'm
Let me take that back then for any Rooster Teeth employees watching. I really used to love no, that's still bad. Ruby was great for 3 seasons.
What's Rooster Teeth?
What's Rooster Teeth?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is gonna take way too long to
Yeah.
explain.
they're content creators.
They're
That's-
like a machinima animation.
Oh, did they do
They did Red versus Blue, if you know what
yeah,
that
they
is.
did Red versus
Okay,
Blue.
okay.
That's how they
I
got their teeth,
remember
and they switched into Ruby, and now they do
when
Genlock,
that
which is awful.
very
Genlock.
first episode of Red vs. Blue came out?
I really like Genlock.
I am not a fan. I gotta tell you, when they're like, we are the last remnants of the entire fighting force of the United Nations, and we are gonna save 30 people. We're gonna risk everything. We're gonna risk the entire United States to save 30 people in the woods. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, just fucking dial it back for a second, okay? That is not a choice literally anyone would make. Then they're like, just to double down, we could all die on this mission and completely lose all of our military force, saving 30 people that we don't know will and I'm just like, no, you lost me. I'm fucking out. You've got Arya Stark and Killmonger doing the voices with Doctor Who, and I still couldn't be less interested.
That's why you need to have Kaz in charge making those hard decisions. Not saving any.
It would just be Cass with sunglasses staring out into the world saying, let it burn.
What race are those 30 people? Should we really go get them?
Question.
Word
Question.
saving.
Are they full of sin?
Are they full of sin?
Didn't you say that all sentient creatures are full of sin?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of physical
including
copies
himself.
of
I
things,
can't wait until Kazador takes a leveling cleric.
I think it's just Connor's Irish Catholic roots.
I thought about taking the cleric, but then you know on Wednesday you already got that. So
I mean, fighter cleric is incredibly powerful.
it really is.
It's like having a whole second action surge if you take God of War. Or you could get really wild and take lightning. This shit is fucking wild.
oh, that'd be cool.
I mean, that's how you build Thor as a character. You literally just make a fighter cleric that's lightning based.
yeah.
That does sound fun. But I was going to say, speaking of physical copies, I did pick up Lotus War. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I picked up.
My God, is that the light novel or the manga?
This is the manga Lady of Ferris, book 1.
Okay, all
Book
right.
2 is like $250, so I'm not buying it. But this is
I wouldn't.
I don't know, 25 or something.
How you doing on watching Lodos War? Instead, you're like, I'm watching Burning Crowns, and I'm like, you're
Yeah.
literally watching the worst part of Burning Crowns.
well, I mean, yeah, I transitioned. I mean, I didn't.
I'm the
fin-
only person in existence who remembers that there were 10 episodes at the start. Everyone else is like, it doesn't start until episode 11.
I mean, I could skip, but I mean, I'm interested in what happens with you know this backcountry fort. It's very Witcher 1, where you start out in the shitty town.
I mean, that's what we were trying to do, is make it Witcher. And I'm
Connor's
like,
not the kind of guy that just skips episodes.
Yeah, I'm not. That's true. Aside from the fact that I haven't finished Nightly Hero,
He wants to see
Heroic
how
Nightly-
many sinners there are in there.
there are a lot of sinners, but fortunately,
Yeah.
my character in that show is in fact the chosen one of God.
Yeah.
And I have free reign to dispatch anyone that disagrees with me. Also, God's prophet is my best friend and my brother.
I'm so glad I didn't play a bard in this game. You should see how off the rails I get in my normal campaign.
Imagine you and Mick as a bard in the same
my
party.
God.
You guys would be bouncing off.
What
each
if it
other.
was just all four of you as
We would have
bards?
all died on that bridge.
I was like, Bard is such a flexible class. yeah. Bard is such a flexible class. We could all play bards, and we could play a band.
Well,
that
same
goes
with
around
cleric.
the country.
There's so many different.
I mean, but the thing is with
How would
bards,
we
right?
Ringo if we play band?
Originally, to become a bard in like AD&D, you had to like start as a fighter, become a cleric, and then become a rogue, and then after you'd taken like a certain number of levels in all three of those and become incredibly powerful, then you could become a first level bard. And becoming a first level bard was like, oh, you're God now compared to the mortals. you got enough HP to slay a dragon and enough magical power to call down fire from the heavens, but you're only a first level bard, and now you can sing at people.
So but also not like the mimics in Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh my goodness. Look, man, I could talk forever about Final Fantasy Tactics. Knight Ninja, dual wielding? Come on now.
That's easy mode. Come on, you can't do that.
Calculator.
Calculator. I never really got the knack for calculator.
Oh
at the time,
my goodness, man. Calculator and then casting Ultima on all of your enemies at the same time by being like, okay, let's take their level divided by pi. And if that's a prime number, I can hit all of them with Ultima. And I'm like, I did the math. I'm gonna fucking do it. Oh shit, some of my dudes have a level divisible by pi. Fuck.
Right, yeah, there's the panic mode. I mean,
Take half my team out in the process.
That's way too much math for me.
Yeah, it's called calculator for a reason.
Right. It does give you a preview, though, of your actions. Like, it lets you know who you're going to hit.
It's like
gotcha.
hit based on the elevation that you're on, based on your level, hit points,
XP.
Oh, it's fucking
CT.
calculator was so much math. It was such a
You need
pain
a
in the
graphing
ass.
calculator for that one.
Yeah, if you even knew the numbers, you don't actually know the numbers. Like, say, of CT, the CT is like basically a countdown timer for until your turn goes, and so you could also calculate based on that. But of course, that's completely like random as far as you're concerned, right? So, yeah.
I'm just gonna put up that meme where that lady's doing trigonometry in the air.
Do the Hanzo arrow.
Yeah.
All right, we ready to kick this off?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
The last thing I have to say is I believe, Mick, you were announcing that you were not going to be available during the summer, that maybe you'd show up every other episode, or maybe we just have Cotton completely replace you and she would actually just play Mortrick.
As the extension of that, like when Evie starts school in mid-August, I won't be able to play any Tuesday for like the first 2 months because that's a volleyball night.
We will figure it out.
Mourn your death. You can figure it out.
I mean, obviously, you will just become a worshiper of the Dark Lord and join the demon side, and I will make you the final boss, as I always said I would.
I don't need any motivation for that final boss.
That's good, because you're the one that he's going to end up dominating and turn against the rest of the party. Previously, you all escaped the island of Havens, having freed them from the evil chancellor's grip of magical melodies. You made your way through the town and found out that Rik-Jaxx probably caused a zombie invasion, that it was spreading via water, and that the oceans could be overtaken without severe interference on behalf of the elven druids. You fought your way through the town, and in a desperate plea for recognition, Mortrick called out to and received passage on the Velocity, or I'm sorry, I think it's called the River Serpent. Velocity Raven is the name of the other ship.
Wait, what? What was it?
The ship.
No, because it had...
It's the River Serpent.
Yeah. Lindsay was on the Velocity.
Is it the Velocity Raven? It's a okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's Velocity
It is the
Raven.
Velocity Raven. I just use Velocity Raven as the name of the main ship in every game that I play.
What if every ship in this game is also the Velocity Raven? Just every single one of them.
Just wait until you encounter Steve Gary. You travel with Captain Espresso Leandro. Coming up short on the bill, you turn to your companion, Lilywin, who also has no money, but receive a promise that when you arrive at your destination, the Fade and Guzian Empire, her embassy will cover the costs, and thus you find yourselves living up the high life, getting private quarters, good food and wine every night, meeting with your patron, the Wizard Lord Mardrovian. You receive your orders to travel to the Fade and Guzian Empire, find your way into Blingdenstone, and using Rik-Jaxx's influence, infiltrate the city and find the item known as Ravanaver's Measure of Fixation, a dangerous magical item capable of exchanging things.
And we can't let Runa touch it.
I mean, privately, you've been told not to let Runa ever touch it because it's compatible with her personality. It may drive her crazy.
May.
It was the final thing that happened is that it was revealed that Kazador had been in secret contact with the Demon Lord, and Thus, the final battle between Kazador and Hal has begun as each accuses the other of demonic influence. Kazador accepted his position as the new head of the Drawn Blades via stick pull, where, you know, Mortrick was not
included.
Some people weren't included. Those people were named Mortrick.
The 100% of Mortricks were not allowed to participate.
I had no bearing on that decision, but its outcome is hilarious, so I'll allow it to happen.
Now it seems like Kaz and Hal are going to have a battle of wits, huh?
I just need to know, Kaz, before it happens, before I let this go down, are you racist because you've encountered the Demon Lord? Or are you just naturally racist, Kaz? Like, I'm going to need an answer once and for all.
Kaz, I don't think you want to go up against a warlock in a duel of wits because they have high charisma and proficiency in persuasion, but I allow you to make your own choices if you enjoy losing.
No, that was just a reference. Okay.
We don't want
That's a loaded question. Mortrick, I'm not going to answer that.
We don't want another rap battle scenario.
Hal lays out an entire plan destroying Kazador, and Kaz is just like, I turn around and walk away. He's right. He's completely right.
He just looks at Hal and he's like, nope, not today.
Not today, not never.
So our opening
Unless I
scene.
bring 6 or 7 of my mates in the room.
Oh wow, yeah, I remember that. I can't believe Eric allowed that shit. That's not the first time that kind of bullshit happened. I was like, are you really gonna bring 7 people into my room to talk to me? It's a person-sized room. You can't fit 7 people in here.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah. Anywho,
You have a scene of loss and horror as the Velocity Raven approaches the coastline of the Fade Angusian Empire. There are ships burning all along the coast. You can see that even ones sinking under the water are still burning through some either very efficient alchemical or almost certainly magical means. There are huge dead sea animals littering the coastline and flags everywhere, sailors floating on driftwood. The captain of the vessel, Captain Leandro, makes deft excursions to avoid any contact with any of them at any cost. And as he approaches the coastline, from behind a rock, a cutter begins sailing towards at high speed. It looks like he's almost going to make it to the town before the cutter gets into his wind, and the speed of the Velocity Raven suddenly cuts in half. And the other ship, you can hear them saying, "Heave to! Heave to!" Everybody on board is just like, oh, fucking Ongery. Ongery!
who's hungry?
Just stick around. So as the Imperial cutter moves into close range and begins grappling hooking the 2 ships together, someone with a very impressive hat, a kind of Mediterranean tan and facial features, but with a repeatedly broken nose, comes over. He's got a kind of jowly chin area and no beard to cover it up, but a very impressive mustache that covers his entire mouth, and a giant swoopy captain's hat, you know, one of those swoopy doopy hats. And he says, "My name is Commodore Ariston Elpis, and in the name of both the Empire and in the God of War and Justice Guzenkas, we claim the right of Hungary." And everybody on board is just like, ugh, as if this is the worst thing that has ever happened to them.
They have been on a boat with me for like the last week, right, though?
So, Captain Leandro pulls out his sword and hands it over to the man, and he says, "Captain Leandro, is it?" you will be paid 20% over your vessel's value, half in gold and half in imperial credits. You are dismissed from your service. All of your men are now conscripts of the Empire. You and your passengers will be shuttled to the shore. This is now a vessel of the Empire.
Did you just lose your ship, Captain?
Yeah, the captain is just like, yes, I did.
Oh, that's really sad.
So
how can they do that?
Cynthia is just like pulling at his sleeve and is just like, Daddy, where will we go?
How many?
So when you say, how can we do that? The Commodore
Cynthia.
turns towards you, Kazador, and says, are you a member of the Drawn Blades?
That's right.
Questioning demeanor. Loud mouth. You must be Mortrick, Egan, Hattlespar.
I am. Now,
No, he turns, he says, oh, you're Mortrick.
Yeah. There's been some confusion about leadership recently. You know, we're still sorting it
The
out.
leader is Kazador Whiteknuckle, yes?
Yeah, well, you know, allegedly.
That's right.
So
I have been sent with news by the Wizard Lord of Mardrovian. The Lord wishes that you are allowed into the Empire on visitors' visas. There will be several rules for you to follow when you arrive. A questioner will inform you of your rights.
Did Mardrovian also inform you that the Velocity Raven is his personal envoy ship and under his direct ownership?
No. What he did inform us of is that an elven princess is on board, whom we will be taking into custody immediately.
We're to escort her to the Elven embassy.
That's very unfortunate for you. The elven embassy is over there, and he points to a quarter of the city that's on fire.
Ooh, that doesn't great.
We are at war with the elves of Haven and their so-called empire. They struck first, and you can see here the outcome at Shallowgrave.
I doubt the princess was the one who struck first. You will not be taking her.
He's just like, sees him, sees her. And
guys,
like
come on.
Marines begin
Let's get
boarding
out of
the ship.
control here. Hold
and
on. Let's just cool it down. Let's calm ourselves. Let's take
This princess is the only way you countries will find resolution to your conflict. We're just coming from the castle and the court of the
Sees him too.
And
So as you're talking, Marines begin drawing swords and moving towards both of
This
you.
is definitely getting out of hand. This is definitely.
Understand that the god of war and justice demands that the princess be turned over.
how many men are there?
I mean, there's probably like 40 guys on his ship, but there's only like 4 on the deck of the Velocity Raven right now.
Which god of war and justice?
A god demands a child.
Guzan Guz. She is an adult and far older than any of us here, even the dwarf.
We will accompany the princess. She owes us and we owe her.
Very well. You
So
will go
where
to
are
the
you
same jail that she does. I don't have the time or the inclination to talk to you. You were guests of the Empire. Now
Apparently
you will be
time to
prisoners
put us
of
in
it.
chains.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
But apparently enough time to put us in chains.
He says, this is a war vessel now, and I am taking command of it. And as I mentioned, I no longer have the time to speak with those who would impugn upon the name of the great Guzangas.
We don't impugn on any name.
Wait, do we still get one messenger pigeon though? Cause I gotta get word to Mardrovian.
So like more and more guys are coming onto the deck of the ship carrying either weapons or manacles. And the Commodore is just like, you were to be honored guests until you decided to stand against the Empire and its business.
I mean, I've not stood against the Empire yet. I mean, like, take those two away. Sure, fine.
Is this
whatever.
not your leader?
I mean, it's more of like a co-chair arrangement.
Sees him as well. I mean, are you guys resisting being arrested in any way?
I mean, I'm certainly not.
Okay.
No, I guess not.
I guess not.
I mean, throughout all this, Rik-Jaxx, no one has said to seize you. You've faded into the back. You look like you belong with the ship crew.
Wait, so they're all gnomes?
No, but
No.
but you don't look like, you know, a monk or a fighter or a bard. You just look like a dude with daggers, like all of the other sailors.
You haven't declared yourself as part of our crew, so you could sort of be on the outside.
Or you could hop in and go with your friends to prison.
Right, whichever is fun.
All right, I'll step forward. Since I know we're heading to the homeland, I don't know what my status is. I go.
All right, well, hold on. As soon as Rik-Jaxx steps forward, like, are you going to talk right away? Because as soon as he steps forward, I want to interject.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Like, no, kind sailor, this is our battle to fight. You guys have to get ashore. Take care of Cynthia for me, because it's going to be a rough time for her. Lilywin, you're coming with us, I guess, so get up here.
So they begin arresting you, if none of you object, and they send men down into the hold. Several minutes later, they come back up and say, Commodore, there are no elves on this boat. The Commodore just looks around and is like, where is the princess? She was on this vessel. You were willing to give your lives to defend her. And he stomps over to move in front of Runa and says, where is she? You were the one that moved in her defense first.
Haven't the foggiest.
The questioner will get all of the answers we need out of this one. Take the three of them away. And find the final one. What's its name? Rik-Jaxx?
Sadly,
They know my name?
no longer with us.
Rik-Jaxx is no longer with you. Lost at sea then, just like the princess.
No, lost back in the Elven Empire. There are a whole mess
The wizard
of
Mordrovian
gross-ass zombies.
told us
back
to be
there.
expecting him here.
Yeah, well, Mordrovian checked out before the zombies showed up. And
Mordrovian specifically did not check out before the zombies showed up.
So they've just said Mordrovian is expecting Rik-Jaxx. I'm thinking I should step forward.
Okay, you're arrested as well.
We can do it that way.
Okay.
So they throw all of you and the cart and the horse and Hal and the captain and his daughter onto a very large tugboat. Hal is not in chains because he's not an official member of the party. They think he's just a passenger.
We're on a tugboat that's separate from their warship. So
Yes.
there are 3 ships total?
There are now 3 ships. The tugboat is now being towed into the bay. It's having to get around wrecks and the corpses of like large octopuses and like a flight of dead dolphins.
Or is the captain with us?
you guys have
Yes,
a
the
voice?
captain and Cynthia are with you. 8 Marines are also with you, and an officer who's guiding the boat.
So do you guys not have like fishing permits here, or you just kind of like indiscriminately come out here to like, you know, clean this up, or like what's the story here? Oil spill? I don't know. What's the ecology like in this part of the world?
The Elven fleet attacked us, idiot.
And they killed all the dolphins?
No,
wonder
they
you guys
sent
are-
all the dolphins. Their opening attack was a
you killed the dolphins.
biological distraction.
Why would you do that? It's like attacking
Huge
someone with
amounts of
chickens. Have you ever
fish,
heard that? Dolphins, chickens,
Squid, octopus began attacking the bottoms of all of our boats, and while we were distracted fending them all off, the fleet sailed into close range and began opening up with fire.
You guys got tricked by a bunch of dolphins. That's hilarious. Do you guys always suck this much at your job?
Just so you know that there are only a few penalties for crimes in the Empire, but most of them end with death.
Yeah, but
I
kinda
will
figured we were
enjoy
headed
your
that way
public
anyway.
execution.
So we got to check as many of those boxes as we can before we get there.
If we had something to gag you with, I would do it. But if you talk again, we'll just break your jaw.
I elbow him in the ribs. All right.
You all arrive on land. Hal is just like, well, I'll just stay with the wagons, and I'm gonna be in the air. And they're just like, come with us. The questioner will want to speak with all of you.
All right, now we walk along, I guess.
So you're led through the military part of the port. You can see that there are hundreds of wounded soldiers here. None of them are elven. There are a number of elven bodies that are just piled up like lumber outside several of the tents, and all of them look to have had their throats slit. The wounded generally switch about like 4 races: human, half-orc, half-elven, and halfling.
I'm gonna write on a. Can I get to my stuff, or are we shackled?
You are shackled.
Okay.
You've been officially arrested.
Are we shackled with our arms in the front or arms in the back?
Arms in the front.
All right. I'm going to move over to Cinzia and kind of push her head in towards me so she doesn't actually see, or tries not to, or obscure her vision so she can't see all the dead bodies.
Okay. All right. You're just trying to run interference for her. Okay.
Yeah.
Her dad does the same thing on the other side. So you are taken through the military district. You could see in the distance that in a sunken level, kind of like a amphitheater style, outside the port, there's like a government district, and there's a man standing on top of a box going, "We will strike back at those who have invaded our lands. We will strike back, and we will destroy our enemies in the name of God. We will be victorious. Peace through power." And then like hundreds of people raise their fists and go, "Peace through power." And he says, "Peace through power." And he just keeps repeating this, and everyone keeps like fist pumping during it. And then a whole bunch of gnome like uniformed guards begin marching through the area around in a circle. You're watching this like cinematic style. It's kind of scary how like militarized everything is here. And
It's
then
a
you get
militarized mosh pit.
Yeah. You get pushed along into what is very clearly in a group interrogation room. And there's just a young woman wearing black robes with like a white face mask, kind of like an opera mask, only the top half covered. And she says, "My name is Questioner Thessa. There are 8 primary languages in the Empire, but I assume all of you speak Imperial, yes?"
Yes.
Questioner, your first name.
You should know that I will be the one asking the questions. One would assume that the name Questioner would give that away. I am obligated to allow you some leniency since you are theoretically guests of the Wizard Lord of Mardrovian. I'm not sure why you've been arrested, but I will get all of the answers I need in time.
Look, we're here. We're willing to answer all your questions.
Please wait until I've asked them.
Okay.
Wasn't exactly a question.
So she waves her hand in front of her. All of you are now in the area of a spell. You can choose to resist it, or you can simply accept the spell's effects.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose to save against it, the caster will know that you have saved or have made an attempt. As long as you are in the area of the spell and you don't make an attempt, you can't lie.
What's the save?
The save is charisma.
Oh,
You fail so badly. I mean, like really awfully. You are no longer capable of speaking deliberate lies within its area.
Cool.
well, are we going to make the check now or check?
It's right
later?
now.
Okay.
If you would like to, just a reminder that the creature knows if you, the caster knows whether or not you have attempted this or not.
Mortrick's been to this rodeo before. He's not going to try to save.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to roll.
Rik-Jaxx?
I actually want to roll.
Okay.
All right, so like I gotta do a switch here. Boom, over here to the game. And what'd you say, charisma?
Charisma.
Yeah.
Are we drawing like a really bitchin' Illithid doing some psionic blast right here?
Oh yeah, he's drawing power. Yep.
Okay. Show me the power of the rolls. That's nope. You're just as bad.
Literally
At
what
it.
I rolled.
Have I made any rolls the last 3 or 4 days? I don't know.
So, the questioner turns to look at Captain Espresso Leandro, just like, we will speak privately later. And then turns to the rest of you and says, you are within the radius of a zone of true spell, enforced by the goddess Guz. Your lies will find no purchase here. I know who you are, and I know why you are here. Where is the princess?
We don't know.
Why were you resisting?
I'm gonna raise my hand.
Why were you resisting Imperial doctrine?
What is Imperial doctrine?
The rightful turnover of the ship and the arrest of the princess.
We didn't resist any of those things. We didn't know where the princess was. And then we tried to explain that it was in the Imperial's interest as well as the Elven Empire's interest not to arrest her. She's trying to pursue a peace with the Empire, and in turn, we're trying to assist her in that.
The elves literally yesterday attacked this city of Shallowgrave. There are
They were
parts of the
under-
city that are still on fire, and you want to talk of peace.
Yeah,
Well-
specifically did not attack. It was, what the hell was that guy's name?
The Chancellor was under a demonic spell and had ordered their troops to attack, but he's no longer under a demonic spell as we have saved him from that. And now
I see, yes. Well, of course, now that the Elven Navy has been destroyed, we should simply allow them to escape all consequence for their actions. Now
Look,
that
I don't
they've
know
attacked
what,
us.
what you might want to arrange.
I
with
am
them.
not here to discuss high-level politics with you.
Exactly.
I am here to find the truth.
That
You
is
have been
the
raising
truth.
your hand for a while, young man. Why don't you tell me whatever it is you
Can I
want?
talk now without getting my jaw broken?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. What was the question? I forgot. Also, no, I wanted to say, what's the name of this town? Gravesend?
Shallow grave.
Shallow Grave. I mean, like, you guys were kind of asking for it with that. Where the princess is. A, we don't know. B, it was the Chancellor. We killed him. Someone killed him. We allowed him to be killed, is what I'm saying. He got killed. C, there are like zombies all over the place back there, and the elves are not going to be a problem moving forward because zombies.
Excellent.
In fact, if you wanted to move in and snatch up all that sweet territory, you probably could. And C, D, I forget where I'm at. Kaz, you can't reason with churchies. They're crazy. So don't even try.
We haven't been able to reason with you once in this journey.
That's for entirely different reasons.
It is, isn't it?
So while the two of you are conversing, she waves her hand for a moment and whispers something, and then says, "Then let's return."
Can I hear what she whispered?
No, she's casting a spell.
Okay.
I mean, you could try to identify the spell.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, it's Arcana check.
Arcana is under skills.
What did you get?
11.
I mean, you have identified that she is casting a divination spell. That's the
Okay.
best you can do.
Okay.
So,
Do you have any other questions for us? I love to answer questions. Surveys are like one of my favorite things. You know, you get like,
is there any
that
reason that
scroll
you
in the
shouldn't
mail.
be thrown into prison immediately?
who
Done
us?
nothing wrong.
Because we need to go see Mardrovian, and Mardrovian wants to see us. I don't know what other reason.
You actually can't say that because that's a lie.
What charges?
Yes. You go to say that, Mortrick, and you realize you aren't able to speak.
Oh, I thought he wanted to see us.
We
Man,
have
so
only
this
been
is literal truth, not objective truth. I can't even lie to myself. Life is terrible.
What
we
charges are we under that would send us to jail?
Resisting arrest.
didn't
That is
resist.
true. That is true. No, you guys totally did. You totally resist. I mean, like, Did you actively attack someone? No, but you were all like, I'm not going to go with you guys. I mean, that's kind of the...
No,
You are also charged as enemy combatants. You identified yourselves as bodyguards of the princess of a country that is currently at war with us.
That is true. I hadn't thought of it like that. I just thought like boon companions to bodyguards is kind
I
of...
assume you saw the handiwork of the interrogators on the way in. That is what we do to enemy combatants.
Oh, those piles of bodies?
Yes.
You guys are just as big a dicks as the elves are.
No, we're bigger dicks. That's why we always win.
That's a compliment. But I can't argue with that.
The god of war never loses.
You and your gods. No wonder you people are so backwards here. All right, well, let's get it
You
over
have
with.
literally been in our territory for minutes, having committed numerous crimes.
I say that we committed no crimes, in my opinion.
I say there's no way we're going to talk them out
She's
of
like,
this.
interesting. That must be your opinion. Your perception of reality is quite different from our own.
That's true.
Unfortunately, I am the one who gets to decide whether or not you have committed a
I'm
crime.
telling you, Kaz, you can't talk to these people. They get on their hoity-toity god kicks. Suddenly they know everything.
So far, I've had more success than you've had.
If we build a wall, we'll be safe. They're all idiots.
Is there any reason that you shouldn't be executed in the next few minutes?
Does Mardrovian want to see us at all? Can I say that? Like, I thought Mardrovian
She's
wanted...
just like, you want me to contact the Wizard Lord of the Mardrovian territories to speak on your behalf. Common criminals.
That would be great right now. What's the name of the bird? Runa, do you remember the name of the bird? Can you get the bird to show up?
Archimedes? What the fuck was his name?
Perseus.
Perseus.
Runa, do the bird thing. Do the thing.
Perseus.
We are in pursuit of demonic artifacts. You don't want these.
So when you say that, she turns towards you and she's like,
no!
Why did you keep doing that?
Because he can't lie.
He can't. He doesn't have to say anything though. It's not like
why are you
Malcolm.
pursuing demonic artifacts, Kazador Whiteknuckle?
3 out of 4 of us want to destroy them. I don't know what Kaz wants. He's really hung up on this.
We are employed by Mardrovian to seek these items out and get them destroyed.
Realize it's a secret society, right?
We're also stuck here and about to be executed.
Yeah, and you're gonna get us killed, Kaz. So like, just chill it for a second with the demonic stuff. Just
Demonic artifacts, secret societies,
zip
and
that
the
way.
special advisor to the Emperor.
Which you've all heard out loud, so you know it's true.
You all
So the
will
Drawn
need to.
Blades are like secret society?
Yes.
Well, we're not anymore.
Yes.
Although
You will
be
need to
fair,
wait here while I speak with my superiors.
Yeah,
My superior
so
is
make sure your
God.
Superior speaks to Mardrovian because that is the boss man.
If I were to contact Mardrovian and he was not in a good mood, there is a very good chance that I would be the one executed instead of you.
Well, then you better come correct, son.
The old man, the cart, the horse, and the young girl are all free to go.
That's fair. We
The
accept
one
those
with the
terms.
hat, she ports to Captain Espresso, will remain for further questioning as he attempted to evade my spell.
Oh, why'd you have to do that?
His-
Al, take good care of her. I don't care what's in
So he
your
leads
blood.
it towards you, Mortrick, and he's like, I'm a smuggler. If I answer questions here, I'm fine.
That's fair. I forgot. I'm sorry.
I will go to jail forever.
All right, we'll see what we can do with Mardrovian. Al, take good care of her.
So Hal is looking at the questioner and it's just like, Miss Thessa, I am not this child's guardian. And she's like, oh, okay.
You are now, Hal. Don't let anyone else take her.
So he's just like, I'm with these people. So if I could just wait around with everyone else, I'll
But
just.
then who's she gonna go with, Dad? I mean, grandparents have to raise the grandchildren sometime. It's not right. It's not fair. Sometimes because
The questioner
religious fundamentalists,
locks the room
nut
on the way
jobs
out.
Make it happen.
So you guys are in a solid iron room that's about 20 by 20. There's literally nothing in here. There's not even any light.
Just
Now that
couldn't
the
keep
door's
your
shut.
mouth shut, could you?
So Hal waves his hand, and then suddenly his finger is glowing, and it's bright enough that everyone can see in the room.
Is there any
So
way
that
out?
didn't go very well.
Well, I mean, it's pretty par for the course for Kaz's plans. I mean, ever since he became leader, nothing has worked out for us.
He's only been leader for like 7 days.
And we're in jail now. What more do you need?
That does remind me, Kazador.
Zombies have attacked.
Just
We're
in case
jail.
you're executed here, can I remove the 3.5 gold pieces that you owe me? You know, just for traveling money.
Do I have it? Did
I'll
they
give
take
it to you now.
Enough. We have bigger problems than your fucking gold. We need to find a way out of here.
in a quiet moment? Do I have any money on me?
I don't know. Do you have any money on you?
What, did they take everything off of us?
No, they didn't take anything off of you.
Okay, so
I mean, you're just shackled at the arms and hands.
In a quiet moment, I'm just gonna pass my money off to Hal, but
Okay.
I'm not gonna interrupt Runa while she's doing her thing.
Hal
already
turns
set
and
it
says,
up.
"It doesn't seem like getting out of here is going to be very easy. Can you break free of your bindings?"
I don't think we should do that. I think we got to wait for
I don't think
Mardrovi to
that's
get
the
back to
smartest
us.
plan.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
telling
Okay,
them
all
our
right.
story isn't working out for us either.
What if I take some of that curry sauce from last night and I spread it on the ground and then I lie over it? It looks kind of reddish, and then you can just be like, "Oh no, he's dying," and then call the guards in.
I assume,
no, I think we wait for
Do
Mardrovi
I-
to get back to
do
us.
I know where we are? Are we like inside of a castle of some kind?
You're inside of a iron room at the edge of the port district.
Do you
And we
really
walked
think
in-
we can get out of here in a place we have known nothing of with guards everywhere? Did you see the piles of bodies out there?
We're right next to the government district. If we can just get your chains off and escape from here, we can disappear into the, empire.
Or we can wait for Mardrovian to get back to us.
And what of our friends?
How much do you trust Mardrovian? I mean, you're putting an awful lot of faith in him.
I mean, he pretty much paid off my debt, so
I
feel
guess.
like
I mean, he's no Tharder, though.
that is true. Tharder does have a lot to offer, more in like a murdery, submissive servant way.
What?
So,
What?
How much do we know about Mardrovian?
How much do you know about Mortrovian?
Not much.
Doesn't sound like you've known a lot. I mean, have you been keeping notes
mean,
through the campaign?
Before the campaign started,
Sure,
had
make
we
a
had any
history check if
contact-
you want to see if you know anything
Yeah, I can do
about
that.
the wizard territory of Mardrovian. Well, with the 16, you actually do know some stuff. So he is the wizard lord of Mardrovian. So Mardrovian isn't technically his name.
okay.
He is Lord Mardrovian or Wizard Mardrovian. He's been alive longer than some elves. Some have said he's been around since the last war 500 years ago, when the Demon Lord was sealed. In general, he's been a shadowy figure, always at the edge of the Empire.
Okay.
So when the Empire was founded, Saint Fade gave her life in order to create a city of justice, bringing down Guzan Guz's holy word upon the people. And from there, it has spread, taking over territory after territory. The first territory to become a protectorate rather than be conquered was Mardrovian's tower at the edge of the sea, on the southern end of the Empire. And from there, Mardrovian has been special advisor to every emperor since then.
Emperor of the Empire.
Yep.
So,
Yep,
okay.
empires are
So
ruled by
technically
emperors
he
or
works
empresses.
for the Empire.
I mean, so the thing about wizards is they do whatever the hell they want. Technically, he is part of the Empire in the same way that
Contractor is part of a company.
Yeah, I mean, if he wanted to, he could. He's probably powerful enough to overthrow the Empire by himself.
Has any of his actions in history been less than upstanding or kind of?
I mean, they've been
kinda wanna get-
super obscure.
Right.
So it's been said that like he gave wings back to the flying city of Jakal.
Mhm.
But yeah, like he just shows up every once in a while and does something really big. But mostly he's just like at the edge of court politics, advising people how to not fuck up.
have all of those big things been helping people, or?
I mean, they don't remember you for, not
Right.
helping people.
Right.
The thing you don't hear him doing is, like flattening an army with, a giant massive wall of fire. All
Right.
of his magical doings are, I wouldn't say benign, but they are majestic and wondrous rather than evocative and murderous.
Got it. Okay.
Would we know anything about his standing with this empire?
I mean, he's special advisor to the Emperor, so
Yeah.
Important. Yeah.
They seem to respond pretty well to his name. So.
What kind of cell are we in?
It's an iron box cast.
Iron box, one door, 20 by 20.
Made of iron with one door.
Everything is like riveted together, so it's like sheets of iron.
It's bigger than my apartment.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you can fit 7 people, a horse, and a cart in your apartment. So
I don't know how they could expect us to live 5 people in this tiny box.
I would love if that was like the new situational comedy. 7 people in a box.
Kaz, isn't this what your home is like? Just a bunch of tiny boxes crammed full of people?
Some rooms were round and stone.
Some rooms were round. That's how the dwarves differentiate themselves from the common surfacers. They use round rooms.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful shape. It's a beautiful shape. Okay. Rik-Jaxx, I don't suppose you think you could slip those locks?
I could attempt that, but what's the plan if I do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
From Mardrovian. I think that's the plan.
I think we could at least have a free hand just in case anything goes wrong.
Why
Who
is
knows
there so much
if
pushback?
the
If
elves
we-
might strike this very building as where we stand.
If we escape now, we're giving them every reason to attack us. At least if they talk to Mordrovian, we have a chance.
And they definitely want to attack.
So therefore, it was a good decision to call upon Mardrovian's name.
Yeah, it was. So why are you fighting it so much?
I'm not fighting it. I'm not.
You and Rik-Jaxx are all up and oh, we gotta get out. And how? I appreciate the effort.
Okay.
Seriously, you need to chill it out too, man. We just gotta wait.
So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to take a look at the shackles and stuff and see, if I feel like I could break out of these pretty easily.
Easily is not something that's going to happen. Possible? Yes. These are all very well made, and what's more surprising to you is that they're all uniform. They're all made in exactly the same way to precision tooling. This isn't just some apprentice blacksmith's first attempt here. This is somebody that has repeatedly made the same copy of the same item over and over again.
Okay.
These are good chains.
We have all of our gear.
Yep.
Okay, so can I do an investigation check on the locks just to kind of determine visually
How difficult it is?
Yeah, how difficult.
I mean, you don't
they
need to
are.
make an investigation check. This will be fairly difficult.
Okay.
Normally, I'd have you do it at disadvantage because you're locked into the chains. However, using your magical power of having a mage hand, you can literally have the mage hand unlock it for you with no penalty.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can make a proficiency thieves tools test using your magic hand. Magic hand.
Well, before I do it again, I mean, I'm going to let these guys know. I think I can get us out of these. They are very well made, but there's a good chance I might be able to get us out. But I still think it's good to have a plan. I mean, we're in an iron box. I get us out of these chains. What's the next step?
We have no idea the layout. We have no
Wait
idea.
for Mardrovian. That's the next step.
Yeah, I agree.
think the plan here is to wait for Mardrovian. And I think the plan is to stay in our chains so that if they come back, there is nothing suspicious. There's nothing aggressive. There's nothing to trigger their crazy ass nut job hearts to want to murder us or do anything until we talk to Mardrovian. But if
I
you
will say that if
get ready, I've got a crink in my shoulder, and if you could just right here in my shoulder blade, massage would be great right now.
For once,
I will say if we
I agree with Mortrick.
if we don't get out of our cells here, Captain Espresso is stuck here, and his
Captain
daughter,
Espresso is talking to Cinzia in a corner and just like turns when you say his name.
and then him and his daughter will be stuck in the cell. I mean, if they do catch him as a smuggler.
Oh my God, when you say that, he just like storms over to you and puts a hand over your mouth and he's like, they're listening to us right now. Why would you assume that they aren't at the door listening to everything we're saying?
Because Kaz...
I'm not practiced at this as you are.
Well, congratulations. You probably just killed me.
So first order...
I was trying to save you.
When we talk to Mardrovian, is we got to get our friend and his lovely daughter, who shall remain nameless and jobless for the duration of our stay here, out of here and somewhere safe.
Okay, well, yeah, we can talk to Mardrovian about them.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can save our bacon a second time.
Who are we talking to Mardrovian to about, Kaz?
Captain Espresso.
No, we're not! Don't say their name!
Stop talking.
The door opens and Questioner Thessa returns. And she has guards come in and says, those 4, take their chains off. That one, put him in chains. As she points to Leandro.
Leandro the captain?
Yes. The Wizard Lord has agreed to take responsibility for your release at great cost to himself. He insists that this was just some sort of comical misunderstanding that is almost certainly Mortrick's fault.
That's...
However,
for the first time, it's not.
Someone in this room has confessed to the crime of smuggling.
It was Hal. Hal lit it.
Captain Leandro Espresso, we will have further questions for you.
Which?
Should you be found guilty of smuggling, your daughter will inherit the full fortune which the Empire owes you and be placed into our programs. That is for another discussion. Take the 2 of them away. The 5 of you will remain. I have several more questions that Mardrovian was not able to answer.
Is Cinzia coming with us?
No, Cinzia is going with her father.
Yeah. How soon is that all gonna go down?
That is none of your concern.
I'm just saying, like, if they need a character witness for the trial, then
there will be no character witness. He will answer the question one way or another. Fortunately, we have the testimony of Kazador Whiteknuckle that he is a smuggler.
I'm going to shout as Captain is led away and say, like, stay strong, both of you. And I want to give him inspiration.
Okay. All right. You pass inspiration. This is unusual for you because normally you pass inspiration like this along in a letter form.
Well, I'm still shackled. I can't really.
Yeah, I know. They're unshackling you right now, though.
Yeah. Wait, can I write him a letter before he goes?
No, he's being led away. He will almost certainly be executed for a crime he definitely committed several times.
I'm going to turn to Rik-Jaxx.
Several times a year for a few decades.
And I'm going to say, I hope you're both happy. And Rik-Jaxx, a second question to you. Are you going to get to, like, reap the benefits of all the elves that the zombies murder? Because, like, you kind of killed all of them. So do you get that experience? Like...
Oh, yes. I'm 15th level. I'm just not...
The questioner is still standing there watching all of you and says, we can get to your visa information at any time if you're done inter-party banter quipping.
I want to know, can we have any information as to what will happen to Cinzia?
She will be placed in Imperial programs, and a home will be found for her.
Is there any way we can...
brainwashed. She's going to be turned into, like, a murder weapon, so thanks, Cass.
Is there any way...
At her age of majority, she will receive her father's fortunes. I understand they are quite considerable.
It may be, but is there any way we can take her into our custody?
Do you have any claim over this child?
No.
No.
Okay. Even with consent of her father.
Her father will almost certainly be found to be a smuggler. By your own word.
Yes. I do feel like I might have been mistaken in that moment. But
Don't worry. Our interrogators will find the truth. Magically.
I'm sure he'll be able to handle it.
I'm gonna
Then the girl has nothing to worry about.
sidle up next to Hal and be like, "Hey."
I was just like looking at the four of you and shaking his head.
But like, Hal, like, how close are you with Thardor? Like, can you get Thardor to like intervene in this situation at all? What I'm asking
Hal is just like,
wake Thardor up right now. He eats this city,
no,
and we all get out free.
no.
I think
No.
all of you need to shut your mouth for once.
So the questioner is like, yes, I agree. Let's just answer some basic visa questions. Now that we've all gotten back on the correct foot, I would like to ask the nationality of each of you, your city of origin, and your purpose in being here. Mr. Egan Hattlespar, where is
Yes.
your city of origin?
My city of origin is Hattlesparville.
Hattlesparville. How
Yes.
quaint. And your purpose for being here?
You know, I'm really like kind of starting to ask myself that same question.
I'm
It
just
started
going
out
to
as a
write
lark,
wizard
and then,
business.
It just kind of like snowballed, and I'm really kind of reaching a crossroads, I would say,
I'm
in my development.
Yes.
Let me finish. I'm getting there. I'll get there. So, I mean, about 3 months ago, let's just go back.
Kazador. Can I ask for your country of origin?
Yes, my name is Kazador Whiteknuckle. of
Yes, I
Clan
know.
Whiteknuckle, and
Are you from Clan Whiteknuckle?
yes,
Very well. I'm just going to write wizard business here.
yeah, fighter business in my case.
No, you work for a wizard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose. Okay. Fine.
Mr. Jax?
Rik-Jaxx from Blingdenstone. I'm here on wizard business.
Lingdenstone. That will be some problem if you were to cause any trouble, but... Miss Runa, can I ask where you are from?
Mountains.
Is there a particular mountain you are from?
Would I know the... I don't even know.
You have no idea where your home is now?
I hadn't put it into my backstory, so...
I mean, you could just make up a mountain. The tall mountains. The
Tall.
lonely mountain.
The not so lonely mountain. There, that's original.
I would like
Mountain with many companies.
I don't want to be here on wizard business. I feel that's kind of reductionist of my true purpose. I want to put finding himself. Can I do that? Can you
No.
put that down as my finding himself? College loan repayment plan.
Vision Quest.
Vision quest. That's also good. I don't want to be defined by, wizard business.
Sharp
It's a little-
Rock Mountain.
Shock Rock Mountain. Now, as long as you are in the Empire, you are under the protection of the Sword of Peace. You may go anywhere.
Is that the same sort of piece that's about to turn that girl into an orphan?
Yes. The Sword of Peace prevents crime and violence everywhere.
Well, so why don't you provide
A citizen
him
of the Empire can
a
travel from one side of the Empire to the other without...
job that can provide for him and his
Excuse
family
me.
forward, and then he doesn't have to rely
I put
on
my hand over his mouth.
A citizen of the Empire can travel from one side of the Empire to the other without any chance of coming under harm because of the Sword of Peace. If you break the peace, not only will you be punished with death, but the Empire will declare war on your homelands. And we never lose. So think very carefully about any crimes that you will commit. Now, we are not
What
a
if we're not gonna
barbaric
attack
people.
our homeland?
My hand is still over your mouth.
There are 8 primary languages spoken and over 48 separate cultures recognized in the Empire. You are free to worship whichever gods that you wish, so long as you respect the god of war. And as long as you respect our laws, you are free to do as you will within the Empire.
Even
I am
laws
to
beyond.
turn over to you 300 gold pieces from the account of the Wizard Mondrovian. and also a corrective graduation certificate for Mortrick, Egan, Hattlespar.
What's this one say?
It has your correct legal name on it. Outside, there is a young man waiting to speak with Mr. Hattlespar, apparently from the College of Lore. If you are looking to go to Blingdenstone, as the Wizard Lord Mardrovian has indicated, then you will need to find passage down underneath into the mountain from here. You should know, however, that there is a problem. Passage to Blingdenstone over the last few weeks has dried up. Apparently, some form of monster has been blocking the Shrine of Laos.
Who is Laos? Where's the shrine at?
The shrine is a dwarven construction. Really, it's more of a mine meant to consecrate the homeland of Clan Laos.
So are you looking to have someone fix this problem for you?
So, Kazador, can I have you make a Constitution saving throw real quick?
Yep.
So, when you hear that you might need to go into a mine, Kazador, your eyes go hollow, and you lick your lips and start reaching for your flask at your hip, but you stop just before you take a sip of that delicious alcohol. As you hear the screams of dying dwarves in your ears, and then you just pull yourself together for a moment. Because according to your backstory,
Yes.
you have a phobia of dwarven mines, which is real tough for a dwarf who lives in a mine.
Yeah, well, lived in a mine. It's been like 50, 60 years. So
Questioner Thessa says, am I saying that you should go and clear out this problem? No. But if you wish to get to Blingdenstone as quick as possible, then clearing it out would help both the Empire and Blingdenstone. Shadowgrave does regular food trades with Blingdenstone. One would say that their economy and very well-being depends upon the Empire.
Would clearing out the mines also help a little girl named Cynthia stay in a happy home with her father?
Is there any way we could clear his name?
You are the one who has condemned him.
I mean, you guys were listening in.
Yes.
And I may have been mistaken.
We never told you that we
saying-
weren't listening.
I honestly don't know
Empire
him.
have a trade route that goes through where this mine goes, right?
Yes.
We happen to know a merchantman of superb skill and ability that when we clear this mine out, you put him in charge of this route, you guys are going to be making money, grain, whatever you want, hand over fist. That opportunity is there for you. Let us give that to you.
You are saying that you will vouch for this man to become a imperial citizen and work as part of our merchant corps, as a government official.
A lot richer above ground than he will ever grow you plants under it.
Okay, Mortrick. I'll let this play out. Make a persuasion check. A man's life literally
Here's my
depends
first
on it.
natural one of the night. Persuasion?
Yeah. Sure you don't want to maybe inspire yourself, use inspiration or anything else?
Yeah.
How much
I'm
does this
gonna
man and his daughter mean to you?
I want to use. We have the inspiration from you, right? Where I get advantage on it.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Using it. All right.
Okay.
Persuasion. Here it goes.
You're not going to bardic inspire yourself?
Bam.
You got a 14, which is not enough.
Nope. Can you do? Oh, I guess because it was different, right? Because no, I should have.
14 isn't enough.
I mean, do you want to bardic inspire yourself real quick? I'll allow it.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
What do you do to psych yourself up as you can see her? You're losing her, right? She's just like,
yeah.
we don't need another smuggling trash.
I'm like imagining this montage of us on the ship blowing up fish with her guiding bolt, clambering up the rat lines while like Inya from Lord of the Rings is like on in the background.
She's like running around with her little dragon wing pajamas.
Rings out, yeah. Yup.
Hers like a little gremlin with the dragon pajamas is one of my favorite pictures that you've made. Okay, you can psych yourself up and use it real quick.
Balls.
I mean,
16.
a 16. Oh, I will.
Yeah, probably not.
She
what
says.
if I say, you know what? Like, I understand. You know, we're a tough crowd. You don't want to like take our word for it. Who are we to you guys? So just don't kill him right away. Give us a chance to take care of this problem for you, and then we can revisit this. I mean, let's just not act hastily. That's what I'm getting at.
I will
Additionally-
consult with Lord Mardrovian.
Additionally, I'll pay if it
That's all I
helps.
ask.
I'll
Kaz,
pay for
As
Kaz,
his room and
Kaz,
board.
That's a bribe.
nope.
Can't pay for his room board.
You wish to pay the fines for this man's crimes.
I mean, if I could afford them, I will.
can't.
I know I can't. But I'm offering to pay for his room and board in the meantime while we solve this problem.
I'm sure the jail cell will be quite adequate room and board for him.
I'm sure, but it still costs the Empire to hold him instead of killing him, as well as his daughter.
You are the one who has condemned him. How many cases of smuggling has he performed in his career?
To my knowledge, 0.
Then why would you call him a smuggler?
We didn't know his business, and we assumed.
We didn't do anything.
I assumed.
That's fair.
But I didn't know. We contracted him to take us from the empire, from the Elven Empire to the Fey Empire,
The Fade and Guzian Empire.
the Fey and Guzian Empire, and
I see.
and that's
We
it. That's all
will
business.
fully interrogate Mr. Leandro to find the extent of both his virtues and his crimes. And should he be innocent, he will be allowed to go free. Should his crimes be less than strenuous, I will consider allowing him into government service. Should he be as good as your bard here seems to think, and should his crimes be as serious as repeated smuggling, he will be executed. That is how one keeps the peace in the Empire.
Of course.
You are free to leave at any time. Anywhere you go within the Empire, you will find only happiness and peace. Peace through
For all the
power.
dead people you've already murdered.
I leave.
We leave. I
I'll
leave.
follow Runa out.
Runa, are you like... Is there a cloud of darkness surrounding you? You seem like you really
I'm
hate this
so
woman.
pissed right now.
Yeah.
Just out of all these events that have happened, they couldn't just keep their mouth shut. I don't say that, but I just walk out.
Yeah, so Hal is like walking beside Winslow, trying to keep up with Runa, who's going way too fast for Winslow, and he's like, hold on. You know, I'm bringing the horse.
Hey, Hal, now that we're not going to die, can I get my money back?
What? Yes. I mean, are you going to pay me?
Yeah. I mean, take your cut.
Okay. All right. And he just takes the money out of your.
How
Hal
much
now.
do I own right now?
3.5 gold pieces.
3.5? Okay.
I
Technically,
just want to take a
Kazador.
second to say how dope this mind flayer looks.
Yeah, this my flayer is dope as shit.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
amazing.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, this
Sweet.
cross hatching.
Yeah. During the week, I was like, "Tell me more about Blingstone," and he was like, "There are illithids there," and I was like, "I don't know about that, man. Like, illithids eat people's brains, so any society which illithids live in undoubtedly involves people being hunted down for food and consumed."
Yeah.
Let's skip over that part. But illithids do make great villains. Not that I know anything about that, or am planning to use one in the immediate future.
They're scary. To me, they're like the scariest, creepiest villain.
I mean, let's talk about the Gith.
I don't know. I've seen them, but I don't have any experience with them.
What do you know about liches, my dude?
Well,
Liches get stitches.
Liches. So here's the thing about liches, right? Liches are super wizards who decided that wearing their skin was too cool for them and ripped it off, and then bound their soul to their own bodies after they died from ripping their skin off. It's hard to get much more fucking hardcore
Pretty
than
metal.
that. Yeah. Then there's demi-liches who are liches that are like, you know what? Having a whole body is pretty lame. What if I just have a floating skull?
It's definitely a life choice.
So Hal has caught up with all of you
Life
finally.
choice.
And he's just like, that could have gone better.
I punch whatever wall is around me really fucking hard.
All right, so it's one of these iron prison walls, right? So you punch it, and then there's just a Runa fish shape indented in it, like a half inch. One of the guards that's at the port just like comes over and he's like, "The hell happened to that wall?"
1 point of
There.
damage.
It was there when I found it.
I mean, yeah, it'd have to be. There's absolutely no way you could have done that. I mean, must have been one of those damn elves. All right, it's time to organize a search party. And like whistles. So, Runa, in the distance, you notice that just looking at you, there's like a platypus that turns to look at you and then like up nods at you and then just keeps walking past the guard post into the government district. You're pretty sure you know where the princess is.
Man, I wonder what happened to her. I hope she's okay. Do you think she turned back into a mouse?
I'm gonna start following the platypus.
The platypus disappears into the crowd.
Probably turned into a mouse, fell off the boat, and drowned. That's a terrible way to go.
And I-
Then Rik-Jaxx turned her into a zombie.
How
And
you
that's-
really want to fall? Okay, well, you know what? Cotton is in the audience, so I'm sure that I can pretend to be here long enough to have this conversation. Yeah, you catch up with the platypus. The platypus just kind of stops and looks up at you. People in the crowd are looking at this platypus like they've literally never seen a platypus before.
I'll pick it up and just start petting it
All right.
and just look at the people like they need to fucking avert their eyes.
So basically every race that's in the player's handbook is in this crowd here. It is a super diverse, every skin tone imaginable, every hairstyle. I mean, Shallow's Grave isn't even a big town, but the Empire seems to have just blossomed with, you know, pushing a unity throughout itself. On the other hand, you do notice that about half the guards, and you get this because Runa and Mortrick, you both catch this because you apparently have really... I didn't know Mortrick had a 15 passive perception.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, he's really good at picking up on this kind of stuff.
That's how I read a crowd.
So Runa and Mortrick, you catch that about half of the guards here, and by this I mean like the low-ranking guards with spears and guys like standing around keeping public order, are all gnomes, and the other half of the guards are all humans and half-elves in like much better equipment. Swords, long bows, breastplates instead of leather. You're starting to attract some attention picking up a platypus. I guess, Runa, you try to flex on the crowd and literally no one gives a shit. You're actually attracting more
There are
attention
people.
scowling at people.
Like, does it seem like there's a distinction between the guards besides just ethnicity?
Make an insight check.
Are the more important guards the humans or the gnomes?
Make an insight check. Certainly this is something that could be determined by your character.
Sight. I'm not very
A
insightful.
5.
Those rolls.
Really, though, how can one determine the importance of someone based on what they are carrying, right? Like,
I mean,
that would be a very Kazador thing to do.
Cover.
We're gonna roll above a 5 this game, I bet you.
Hey, Kaz has already.
Yeah,
Kaz has done
before
more
we
than
got our
enough
Yeah,
already.
Kazador managed to avoid post-traumatic dwarf disorder.
And also
I see
condemn
when
man.
Kaz is rolling for himself, he's fine. But when he's getting innocent people murdered, well, smugglers, I guess.
Yeah.
We're gonna
He's
say
not innocent. That's the thing. He's so guilty of the crime he committed.
Yeah, he's guilty, guys.
But
But
he's our
we'll
guy.
save
Whatever makes you sleep at night, Kaz.
You're like, oh, it's fine. He could commit all the crimes he wants as long as he's on our side because we're super righteous.
Yeah, that's what I told Cynthia. Right and wrong, you got to call it when you get there.
I mean,
I don't know how to like talk with animals, but
you can just say whatever you need to. She can understand you.
oh, it's literally her.
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck.
This.
I thought it was one of her animal friends.
No, this is actually the princess. This is Little
This
Win
is her
as a
shade.
platypus.
Yeah.
Glad to see you're safe.
She just kind of wags her beaver tail. I guess that's what platypuses have. Platypus tail.
Yep.
Squirtle.
Squirtle.
Walk over to the group and be like, "Found us a friend."
Are you Simbaing the princess?
No,
Oh,
like
where
she's
did
in
you
my
find
arms.
that at? What? I've never seen an animal. Like, what is that thing? And I'm gonna poke it. Like, what is
I
this?
When
Slap
you
his
do
hand.
that, the duckbill of the platypus comes down on your hand and doesn't let go.
Ow!
Like as you pull your hand away, the princess is hanging on to your hand.
I'm gonna
stop
like
it.
pull it off of him.
One of the
What?
guards
Take your
begins
head
walking
back.
over. It's a gnomish guard. He nods to Rik-Jaxx as he approaches and says, "Hi, could I ask all of you to stop disturbing the public? You seem like you're new here. I'm guessing visitors rather than
Yeah.
travelers from the far side of the Empire, but
Very new. We
If
just
they're disturbed by an
fresh
animal,
off the boat.
they're disturbed by your comedic routine. Unless you have a permit, I must
To
ask
be
you to take
comedic.
this elsewhere.
You need a permit to.
to have fun,
Wow.
to laugh.
Yeah.
You need a permit to put on a show.
this is not a show. This is my life.
Runa, when you say it like that, it's so sad.
Then can I ask that you take your life to somewhere less public? And what is that thing?
My friend.
I think it's a snapping turtle. I've never seen one of those. I've read about them in books. Sometimes they're drawn with like human faces. It's weird, man.
Okay, you just move along, all right? You understand? You
Seriously,
speak
yes.
Imperial, correct?
Yes.
Okay, move along.
Yes, we do.
Where is the
You
nearest?
speak Imperial?
Where? Can
Wait,
you tell us where the nearest Adventurers Guild
Help me.
is?
Adventurers Guild.
Yeah.
There's no Adventurers Guild here. This is the Empire. Would you like me to send you to a recruiting post?
No, we have business with the wizard Mardrovian, so
Then you are on the wrong side of the Empire, friend.
we'll just take care of our own business. Thank you very much, little man. Move along.
Then, so when you say that, he turns toward you and says, "I'm sorry, what did you say? Move along, little man."
I elbow him in the
No,
room.
I
Ribs,
said-
we move along.
Are you all moving along?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna use this.
Man, I hate these people so much.
Oh
So
my God.
much.
You're literally like, well, let's just throw out a racial slur toward gnomes and then tell the guard to fuck off. I can't believe that they're. Oh my goodness! All right, guys. Look, I'm not trying to make the Empire likable, but you guys are not helping.
Right?
Hey, I pulled him out of that fire there quickly.
Yeah, well, where
You're in your
where
own
do-
fire, Kaz, okay?
Yeah.
Calm down.
where do you guys want to end up when you get out of one grease fire? Which one are you landing in?
I guess the Shrine of Laos.
Headed? What did they? We need to find out about, because we
We're
were
going-
just released on Mordrovian Say So, but we're not actually going to see him.
That's
No,
correct.
no, we're heading to
Is the mind problem.
Rik-Jaxx's hometown, but then by way of Shrine of Laos, which has a problem. So we're going to try and I say we contract out sort of a traveling caravan that needs to go there, and we offer our services to transport them, and then we'll see if there's any kind of ruckus
you're
along the
gonna
way.
with the caravan? We only have one wagon, Kaz. Do you know how wagons work?
I do, but what I'm saying is, if we accompany, we don't know the route. So if we follow the caravan and we
So
protect
we
it at
need
the same
information.
time,
All right. Using the
paid.
power of Hal, who can read any language, and out of 8 languages, there's a lot of languages in the Empire. And his hireling power of uncannily being able to cut through bureaucracy. Several minutes later, you find yourself at a trading hall known as Sarazan's Caravans.
Right.
And you're sat in front of a dwarf who has 2 twin beards with giant, thick gold rings holding it in place, but he's bald up top. He scratches his nose, which is like 3 times too big for his face. And it's got all it's like super dirty. It's, you know, what do you call them, the little black spots in the pores? Yeah, it definitely looks like he has not cleaned the front end of his nose in maybe this century. He says, if you're looking for caravans headed down to Blingdenstone, you won't find any. Around here, everyone knows that the shrines of Laos are haunted by a creature, some sort of demonic beast capable of moving through the stone as if it was swimming.
If they know about how haunted it is, they must know where it is.
Oh, yeah, I can give you a map towards the shrines of Laos.
That would be perfect.
Well, they lead beneath this very building. I mean, normally we'd be headed to Blingdenstone as often as we could. We've got plenty of food backing up here and not enough gems coming up. They've been a pretty good source of money over the last 2 decades.
What would us opening up that travel route be to you? Or be worth to you?
Well, it sounds like you're going there anyway.
Kaz. We already cut that deal.
It sounds like you're putting the cart behind the horse.
What we need to know is how long it takes us to get there.
How to get there, and if there's anything on the way we should be aware of.
Well, you should be aware of a demonic beast inhabiting the shrines of Laos. Look,
there's going to be fun for you too.
I'm willing to give you a map on how to get there. And a map for how to get to Blingdenstone, which is not easy to come by. The only people that can take you there, however, are ones who've already been. So unless one of you is an inhabitant of Blingdenstone, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, even if you haven't. Oh, okay. Well, all right then.
One of those too.
Finally, you should know that the dwarf will probably not be allowed into the city unless, well, okay, you're a resident, so maybe you might be able to get him in. Dwarves are not well looked after there.
He does not help when we take him into strange places.
I'll be all right. You don't have to worry about me.
Now, I'm not going to offer you any money to do something you're already doing anyway, but it is a week's travel into the ground just to get to the shrines of Laos, and another week past that to get to Blingdenstone. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You seem to have your own wagon, and there are 5 of ye, so I will give you enough provisions to last for 2 weeks. Because finding food on the way there is going to be non-existent.
That is much appreciated and very generous of you.
Well, it's a mutually beneficial relationship, so I'll also include some choice brews.
I don't want you to go away empty-handed from this. I want to say a very heartfelt thank you for all of your help, and I'll pass them $2.
And if we manage to clear out the vines,
He slides your 2 gold back over the counter, and he's just like, is this a joke?
It is not.
Okay.
My friend's just an idiot.
Keep your money. I have to tell you that in a single day's trading here, I can probably pull 30 or 40 times that in a single day.
See, it's that kind of thing that makes me think I went to the wrong business. Now listen, I'm a bard.
Well, I've been looking for a partner lately, but it's very hard to find experienced caravaneers around here.
Is it? So you'd be looking for a man with experience in trading, would you?
I wouldn't say no to it.
Well,
I mean, my last partner went to the shrines of Laos and he hasn't come back, so.
Well, we will definitely come back, some of us.
That's what he said.
But we've definitely got a man that we know. He's got years of experience, very successful.
Just give me his name and I'll head on over and see if I can talk to him.
Well, let's clear it with him first, and then we'll get back to you on our end. But,
Okay, all right, well. You're the one making the introduction. I suppose I can't argue.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you very
what
much.
is that beast that you're carrying about?
It's my friend.
I think it's a turtle.
Okay, all right.
Do you have... No, I guess you probably have... I mean, you probably just murdered a bunch of turtles. Well, not you personally.
And with that, I turn and push the rest of the group out before
All
they
right.
can say anything else that'll get us into trouble.
So in the alleyway behind Sarazan's caravans, after some of his flunky dwarves have loaded up the wagon with, 2 weeks worth of provisions for 5 people, the platypus turns back into a princess.
Holy shit! That was you the whole time? That is amazing.
Lilwyn's just like,
That is
look,
amazing. Oh my god.
I can't go with you.
Where
No,
would
I
you
totally
go?
understand. Don't you have to be somewhere?
I want to
mean-
learn more about the Empire and maybe
no,
stop
you're
this
definitely
war.
gonna need to brush up. Especially, also look up how to kill zombies, like
Do you
in
think
mass,
this is
not
the
one
best-
by one.
Do you
Like,
think this is the best town to do that?
No, I'm going to try to head towards the capital.
I give her 5 gold.
She's just like,
Please
all
be
right,
safe.
what can I get with this?
Please be safe.
she doesn't know how money works.
You remember? She was going to
Yes,
give
I do.
200 gold pieces for a
I
goat.
do remember.
I'm gonna turn to Hal and say, Hal,
Hal is handing her a sheet of things that say Hal's common sense that include like how much things cost and how not to get in trouble with the Empire. The top line says, if Mortrick would do it, don't.
I'm going to say, Hal, it's been great having you with us. I understand this place we're going to, much like all of the places we've been, are not really your thing. Would you perchance, like to accompany the princess? And then, maybe, you don't know if she's going to use this cheat sheet. It's super helpful.
I'm going to also...
Are you dismissing Hal?
I'm just asking Hal if he'd like to go, with someone who might be a little more risk averse than we are as a group. What do you want, Hal? What do you want?
I'm also going to give her a small dagger and tell her only to use it if absolutely necessary.
All right.
If she ever needs to find us, she can use my name.
All right. She's going to give Runa a hug and then give handshakes to Rik-Jaxx and Kazador.
That's all right. I'll give her a bow.
I'm going to be expecting the hug too. And it's like, oh.
She will stand at a comfortable speaking distance from Mortrick as she says goodbye.
Like,
All right.
that's fine.
She says, you're not as bad as most humans.
We'll be trying to pursue
That
some kind of
actually
peace
says quite a lot. Thank you.
in the meantime.
So just be clear here. Hal is going to take a look at the party and see whether you guys support him going with the princess or staying with you guys.
If he wants to go, I fully support her having somebody else with her. Especially someone who knows currency and
Languages.
languages and
How to
can
get dressed in the
possibly
morning.
protect her. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay.
So Rik-Jaxx is okay with it too.
Hal departs from the party, Kazador.
Finally.
He gives you a handshake and says, Kazador, thought I trusted you, then I didn't trust you, but now I kind of trust you some more. Even though you definitely screwed the captain over. But it seems like this princess is going to need help to get where she's going, and well, if she turns into a mouse, someone's going to need to carry her since mice don't move very fast.
Just
So I'm
some
going to go
stubborn-
with her. But if you ever need me, you can find me somewhere, probably.
I understand, Hal. I understand. I'm gonna do my note thing. I'm gonna write a note to both the princess and to Hal.
You're bardic inspiring them?
Yeah. My note to Hal is gonna be like, you were like a father to me, more than a father, because my last father, not very fatherish. Although, to be fair, I probably shouldn't have looked up. He was just my college advisor, but I thought we really bonded, and then it just kind of fell apart. So anyway, Hal, take care out there. Take care of her. Take care of yourself. And maybe the Stornak thing, it sounds good now when you're in that first bloom of puppy love and adoration, but, just be willing that when he comes for your soul that one day to say no. Say no to Thordak if you need to.
It's Tharder.
Tharder, whatever. I write
Right,
Thordak
Thordak.
every time. Every time it's Thordak.
I'm sure.
And then to the princess, I want to write a note that says, learn you how to kill some zombies. You're going to need it.
So as they depart with their letters,
I also want to slip 50 gold into the wagon
okay,
as I leave.
all right,
As they leave.
They're not leaving with the wagon.
they're leaving with the wagon. That's your wagon.
Oh, I thought we were getting a loaner wagon. Yeah. All
No,
right, so,
he's not giving you a loaner
then
wagon.
I'm gonna give Hal the 50 gold as goodbye wages.
I mean, that's a lot of goodbye wages, but yeah, he'll take it.
They're like, it's fine, Hal. I'm just gonna tap Mordrovian for some more cash when I need it. It'll be great.
So yeah, Hal is just like, oh yeah, you guys already got the passage paid for by the elves, and then you tapped him for 300. So
yeah,
it's a good job, kid. And he like punches you in the shoulder.
I'm gonna take out as many rations as I can fit into my back.
So the princess is just like, no. I can find food wherever I need to. I'm sure servants will show up.
You could also turn into a mouse and then just like eat mouse food.
That's not how that works, Mortrick.
Isn't it? It seems like it should.
No, she ate half my rations that one time. She was in my backpack.
That's gross. I would never eat Kaz's food. You don't know where it's been.
So the princess goes, all right, servant, come on.
I'm sorry, Hal, but thank you.
Keep her safe.
As they begin departing in the background, in the foreground, someone's face just pops around the corner. It's just like, Mortrick?
Yes?
All right, so this is a guy wearing a red hat with a green brim and a giant purple feather coming out of it. As he pops around the corner, he's wearing a vermilion coat with gold lining and huge oversized stuffed buttons. His pants are made of crushed velvet. He looks like he's got to be thoroughly uncomfortable in this climate. And he's just like, I knew I could find you here, my good man. He gives you the secret College of Lore handshake, which involves, up, down, fist bump, explosion, bring it back, explode again.
The usual, yeah.
And he's like, I'm your advisor in the College of Lore. Welcome.
Oh, excellent. Hey, first question. I need to take out some student loans. I am strapped for cash.
Well, all we need is for you to check in every once in a while and update us with any heroes that you're following, any heroic epics you've been writing, activities, just for the Daily Bard.
Oh, yeah. Well, so if I could introduce you to Runa, who is my current advisor. She just assumed the position literally like 10 seconds ago. I don't even think she knows. It's going to be a surprise. Pretty surprising.
She's standing right there, so it can't be much of a surprise. But also,
she just found out at this time.
I'm your advisor. Is she the hero that you're following?
Yes, that's. Yeah, she's.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And then this is Kaz. He's a dwarf, so you know how racist they are. I wouldn't talk to him. And then
we don't like to use that kind of terminology or frame of mind for the heroic epics. We try not to pass the problems of the past onto future generations.
Well, so what I'm
Did you pass Ethics 301?
We plant this seed here, and then if we need to, third act switcheroo where like Kaz becomes the bad guy, which I think we all kind of see coming, then we already have that seed planted, so it doesn't feel like Deus Ex Machina.
So third act, you're developing a play or a novel, then?
Yeah, that's my.
Can I see your framework?
It's more conceptual right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's work in progress.
All right. While all this is going on, I'm going to start maybe looking around for a weapon shop or armor shop or some weapon shop.
So your advisor says, well, the name is Red Green Dragons, and if you
Red Green Dragons, and
yes.
Let me just say that is a fantastic outfit.
Thank you.
I love everything that's going on there. It's
I assembled it myself. Really, it's so difficult to find this kind of material this time of year, especially during a war.
Super tough. Yeah,
it's very comfortable.
The name of your tailor?
Charisse. You can find her in the capital.
It's CH or an SH? I always get confused. SH. All right.
So, look. Anytime you need to check in, just stop by your local College of Lore in any major town and, drop off any manuscripts you're working on or just let us know any heroic deeds that have been done. Is there anything heroic that this Runa has done?
She punched the absolute shit out of this wall like 2 hours ago. Like,
so he looks around and he's just like, well, that wall's still standing, so it couldn't have been that heroic.
I mean, it's perfect fist imprint in there. It was.
He's
amazing.
like looking at a brick wall that you're standing next to, and he goes, "There's no fist imprint in this wall."
Yeah, I'd say it wasn't this wall. It was a different.
Well, you
wall.
said this wall.
Oh well, I meant this.
You
wall
said
in, like,
she punched the shit out of this wall.
In the royal sense, and like that all walls are connected.
All walls aren't connected.
Right, but I'm saying, like, you know, metaphorically.
Okay, you know, I can see that this is going to be difficult, so I'm going to let someone from another city handle this. I hope that you have a fine day.
Thank you. It's been great talking to you.
Just
we'll have to
leave.
catch up again sometime. Thank you.
What are you looking for in a weapon store, Kazador?
To peruse. I mean, possibly magical items, I guess, is one thing that we might be looking for.
Okay, all right.
But yeah.
Okay, you find such a shop. It's called Getta's Mystical Arsenal. Sorry. There are 4 blowguns hanging up outside that are all marked as being magical. It is a gnomish shop, so the door is just tall enough for you to get through.
Rik-Jaxx, do you want to come with me?
Yeah, I'm busy drawing. So yeah, let's go.
Okay.
You go in. Inside is a gnome smoking on a pipe in a rocking chair, and he stops and says, "Oh, didn't expect any visitors today. Not a lot of people passing through. The army already came by and snatched up most of the good weapons. Don't suppose you'd like a blowgun? Hand crossbow?"
Maybe. How much is the blowgun?
Yeah. Sorry, that's me, not the character. Although I guess they are smoking a pipe. Well, these are very difficult weapons to come by. How much are you willing to pay for them?
Look, I'm not really sure. What else might you have in stock? Do you have
He's like, what are you willing to pay for them? And you're like, I don't know, but probably not whatever you're about to offer.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I just looking to see if there's anything. And you have any magical one-handed weapons?
I do.
Okay.
But he like looks over your equipment and he's just like, do you have money?
I might. I'm not sure what the prices of magical items offhand, so I'm used to mundane, but we're about to face something that I don't know I've seen before. So,
well,
I'm
prepared.
going to
Here's the deal
and say, have you ever seen anyone that screamed "tourist" louder and just begged them to rip him off?
What if I told you we were in possession of another magical weapon? And we might be able to trade it for something.
Oh, tell me more about this magical weapon.
Kaz, you're going off on a tangent again.
Am I?
Yeah. So Rik-Jaxx will actually say that. You're going off on a tangent.
All right, then. Well, what do you have then? Fine. I'll leave that alone. We are in possession of magical.
I can offer the blowguns for 600 gold pieces.
Oof. Okay.
I've got a great club here.
I'm also not there. I'm doing something else.
And a javelin of lightning.
I see. Okay. I think I can see I'm way out of my price range, so
that's why I don't like dealing with tourists.
It's fair enough. Fair enough. This is my mistake. And I suppose I wave goodbye.
As you're leaving,
yeah,
a very tiny gnome girl comes running out and just like, stop.
Yes.
And Getta is just like, oh, here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, are you an adventurer?
Yeah, we are.
I love adventurers. Tell me a story.
One time a great big minotaur came up and smacked me on the head, and its weapon broke in half. and then we killed it.
She starts laughing and says, "You must have a really hard head."
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Yeah, and I lower my head and let her knock on it, and she knocks on it, I guess.
Okay. She will insist you stay and tell her stories about adventuring for as long as you can tolerate it.
I continue to tell her stories until I assume Rik-Jaxx is going to start pulling me away.
Actually, Rik-Jaxx is leaving you behind.
You start telling stories, you turn around and Rik-Jaxx is gone.
That's it. He's like, okay, this is going to be a while.
All right, I'll keep on telling her stories until
You notice Rik-Jaxx is gone.
well, until that happens, until you guys pull me out of there and we start going, or it's nighttime.
After several minutes, Rik-Jaxx, you notice that Kazador has not followed you.
All right. I'll go back in, grab him by the arm, and say, we have business to take care of. Let's go.
All right, fine.
I wanted to go to a like a scent shop, something that had like incense, and I also wanted to get rations for myself.
More rations? Okay, you
Yeah.
can go to a general store.
Yeah, and then I'll pick up some food.
So the general store here is like the Walmart of the fantasy age.
Okay.
They have like everything here.
Something dried, something that wouldn't like mold or go bad easily.
Trail rations. Yeah.
But also some breads and stuff.
So look, this place is overflowing with food. It actually looks like the food prices here. You could see someone has taken a sign and is like knocking the prices down as you walk up. And this is like the third time on this particular sign that the prices have been knocked down. They're at like 75% of normal pricing here.
Nice.
So you can get any rations you want at 75% price.
Cool. I guess I'll get rations for myself for 2 weeks then, if I can pack it.
14-day rations. So your cart's getting a little full. It can only hold about...
we have the cart?
Yeah. I mean, you guys have your own cart, right? Like the cart that you started the campaign with.
Right.
And Winslow, the horse.
Because Howland then just walked off.
No,
They didn't take the cart. That's your cart.
Yeah.
we
The
kept
cart pre-existed Hal. The cart came all the way back from Goblin Nation.
Right. And the gnome gave us 2 weeks rations for the journey.
Yes.
That's already on the card.
Okay. So then...
I mean, you can get more rations. You want to get incense as well?
Yeah, incense.
I mean, incense is pretty cheap. It's definitely here. It's about 1 gold piece for 1 pound of incense, which will last you a very long time.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so you get a bag of premium Gold Coast from the eastern part of the Empire. It's been blessed by the God of War. It's guaranteed to bring spiritual purity.
Bag of gold incense.
And I guess if I go there too, I'm going to look around for some very strong flask whiskey.
How good of a whiskey are you trying to get?
Doesn't have to be good, just has to be strong. Something to fortify the will.
Okay, so if you're just looking for good, it's 2 silver pieces per bottle.
Well, I'm looking for something that I can carry in a flask. And yeah. Okay.
This is per bottle.
Per bottle. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll buy 2 of those.
All right. So that's 4 silver pieces. So not a lot.
Right. Yeah.
If we're shopping and there's a lot of gnomes around, I want to see.
There are a lot of gnomes.
Does 5e use studded leather, or is that old stuff?
No, I believe 5e is studded leather.
There's studded leather, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start shopping around for studded leather.
Okay. So at the far side of this general store, you encounter like a group of people who are all quickly making more armor. Like they have set up in the middle of the work area and are just like forming. They're leatherworking. When they see you approaching, they speak in Gnomish and they're just like, hail, traveler. How's it going?
Well, it goes well. We are.
Don't see many of your kind around here on the surface.
No, I haven't seen many of my kind in 20 years. It's been many years since Blingdenstone fell.
Yeah, you're one of the exiles, huh? That's rough.
I am, but I had a question for you because it sounds like I heard someone saying they're still active trade, or at least until recently.
Oh
they were
yeah,
active.
no, maybe a decade ago, Blingden Stone started sending out jewel caravans every direction in order to get food and supplies. It sounds like their economy is wrecked, and they've been using the treasures of the capital in order to keep the underground nation alive. Very sad, you know. I've got several cousins down there.
So who was actually in charge of these caravans? Because
Some Imperials, some of the gnomes. You know, they go both ways. Oh, there are deep gnomes. There are all kinds of gnomes. All of the gnomish races living in Blingdenstone now.
Really? Okay.
Oh, all kinds live in Blingdenstone. Now they've got drow. Now they've got... Well, they don't have a lot of dwarves. The dwarves are mostly left, but there's some left. There's some Kuatoa. There's even a whole part of the city that has been given over to the fungus people.
The fungus people.
Hey, well, you know what? Fungus people buy stuff just as much as anybody else, huh? What are you gonna do?
I'm just not a big fan of the fungus people.
Well,
so we're my party's going to find our way there. I believe we have a map.
okay.
I'm also shopping around. I mean, I'm just looking to see if I can.
You looking for leather?
Yeah, I want to see if you guys studied leather.
Look, here's the thing. I don't know if you noticed, but part of the town is still on fire. We were under attack by the elves over the last few days, so armor's coming at a premium cost. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
We have some studded leather here. It's going to cost you 60.
I don't even think I have 60. What did we say? 40? I think I had what Runa has. We have 40?
Also, 75 from the 300 given to us by Mardrovian.
Did you split that up?
I sort of just assumed we split it up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Then
I think we
you
figured it
definitely
out.
have enough to cover it then.
Yeah.
I think I can do that, but how about some buyback? What if I sell you my leather armor? How much credit will you give me for
So
my
he looks
leather
over leather armor and he says, okay, I'll tell you what, 50 and that leather armor, because I like you.
Well, let's try 40 in this leather armor because look
Let's
at
try 50 in this leather armor.
it. Fine. Let me see where my money is. I'll do it. I'll do
Okay,
it.
all right. So as he hands it over, he starts helping fit it to you, and then calls two of the younger gnomes over to help, you know, like get it strapped in and adjusted for your size. And a third young one comes over and begins tapping out a symbol of a greatsword being stuck in a stone. He's like carving it onto the leather armor on your right arm. And he says, "It's for good luck. Is the symbol of the god. Peace through power. May victory always follow you wherever you go. And here's hoping," and he taps you on the chest, "that you don't need the armor, huh?"
Let's hope not. Okay. Thank you for your blessing. Peace through what is that? Power?
Peace through power. You're
Peace
not
through
from
power.
around here, I think.
No, we're kind of coming through. We're
It's
moving
imperial saying. Don't worry about it.
through. Okay.
So Mortrick, when you are like looking around, you're checking your pockets, there's a note in one of your pockets and you're going for your money.
What does the note say? I actually wanted to spend part of this time coming up with like just a bunch of fake manuscripts that I can pawn off whenever I stop by a lore college.
Why would you give them fake manuscripts?
Because I'm never going to do the assignment, but I need to do more work avoiding the assignment than I would do actually doing the assignment. So
The note-
like one whole page, just like it was a dark and stormy night. No, it was
The
a
note says, "I hope you don't die, but you are still my least favorite." Signed, Lilowin.
A single tear is going to leak out of my eye and roll down my cheek. I'm like, she cares.
I think the note specifically says that she doesn't care, but well, I mean, she cares a little bit. A little bit.
I want to pick up a couple weapons before we leave too.
Okay.
So
What are you
I'll
looking
drag the
for?
cart around. I really wanted to get some butterfly swords.
Oh, you're not looking for anything magical. You're just looking for like regular weapons that are in the PHP.
Yeah.
Yep, they'll all be available.
So that
You should note that all of the weapons are at 10% markup.
Okay. Butterfly swords, hand axe, and quarterstaff.
Are there butterfly swords in the? Is that
Basically
even?
a short sword?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's available. Yeah, but everything costs 10% more because the city's on war footing. All right.
Right.
It sounds like you guys are ready to head down into the mines and find the Shrine of Laos.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, last thing. Do we have a good supply of torches?
I hope that you do, because Hal was your guy who carries the torches, and he's gone.
So let me check the wagon. Do we have plenty of torches there? If not,
I've got
Do you know where I am?
10 torches.
I still have dancing lights too.
okay. All right. Yep. We're good with your dancing lights.
How much did those weapons cost?
Sorry, you're getting a short sword, a hand axe, and
a quarterstaff.
all right. Let me pull up the calculator. Oh no, that's Windows Calculator taking up all of your faces. No problem.
Yeah.
You guys don't need faces anyway.
Faces are overrated.
Quarterstaff is 2, and hand axe is 5. 19 gold pieces.
Okay.
All right. When we come back, the gang is going to learn what dynamic lighting is in the second half. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure that at this point, if you aren't already doing it, also get the PlanetKhaos YouTube loaded up so that you can watch as everybody fumbles around in the darkness and dies.
Pretty much.
We'll be back in about 8 minutes for the second half. Let me ask, does anyone here actually know what dynamic lighting is besides probably Bearded? Wow, you don't know what dynamic lighting is? Well, then you guys are in for a real kick in the pants.
Yeah, we used it on the test.
It's like
yeah, we did do that thing.
That movie with Tom Cruise where he kills all the guys and it's like black and white and then you know that movie Collision, no. I think.
Nope.
Oh,
that
not
is,
a clue.
I think
is not what you
the
think.
Michael Mann movie, is that the one you're thinking?
I'll think of it during the break.
I think that's called strobe lighting.
Most strobe lighting, but the effect in the
Collateral.
movie, Collateral.
Collateral is the movie you're thinking of, yeah.
Have we already gone to break?
Well, I'm about to go on the break now. We'll be back shortly.